Hello and welcome to Quiz Time. I'm Jess and today I've got 50 questions on the 1950s. So, are you ready? Let's go. Which device was presented for the first time at the Dusseldorf Radio Fair 1954? Satellite antenna, transistor radio or portable tape recorder? Transistor radio. When did the People's Republic of China force Tibet into annexation? 1954, 1957 or 1950? 1950. Based on a comic book, which of these TV shows gained popularity in the 1950s? Adventures of Superman, The Green Hulk or Flesh the Speedrunner? The Adventures of Superman. Which South American country hosted the 1950s FIFA World Cup, the first of its kind since '38? Brazil, Mexico or West Germany? It was Brazil. The Algerian War, a conflict between France and Algerian rebels, started in 1951, 1954 or 1955? 1954. Which of these artists was often referred to as King of Soul? Sam Cooke, Ike Turner or Nat King Cole? Sam Cooke. In the first half of the 1950s, the writer L. Ron Hubbard gained fame for creating Star Trek, founding Scientology or declining the Nobel Prize. Founding Scientology. In which city did Elvis Presley record his first song? Kansas City, New Orleans or Memphis? Memphis. In which year did Alaska officially become the 49th American state? 1959, 1952 or 1955? 1959. Which important statesman and historical figure died on the 5th of March 1953? Joseph Stalin, Winston Churchill or Harry Truman? Joseph Stalin. Who starred in the 1952 romantic comedy Singing in the Rain? Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra or Gene Kelly? It was Gene Kelly. Shirley Bassey, a singer who gained fame in the 1950s, was from Ireland, Wales or New Zealand? Wales. Iconic actress Greta Garbo became a nationalised US citizen in 1951. She was originally from France, Sweden or East Germany? Sweden. Which football team lost many of its players in the Munich air disaster in '58? Manchester United, Torino or Barcelona? Manchester United. Maureen Connolly, also referred to as Little Mo, was a star in which sport? Horse racing, tennis or volleyball? It was tennis. Formerly known as the Gold Coast, which African country became free in 1957? Cameroon, Ghana or Zambia? Ghana. Deposed in 1953, Fuad II was the last king of which country? Lebanon, Afghanistan or Egypt? Egypt. Which airline, popular on a global level, began its operations in 1955? Lufthansa, Air France or Ryanair? Lufthansa. Which popular cartoon character was aired for the first time in 1958? Popeye, Betty Boo or Felix the Cat? Felix the Cat. Placido Domingo, a famous Spanish singer, made a debut in 1959. For which music is he known? Fado, Spanish jazz or opera? It's opera. In 1956, tennis player Althea Gibson became the first black woman to win a Grand Slam. Which one did she win? The Australian Open, Roland Garros or the US Open? Roland Garros. Who replaced Harry Truman as the President of the US in 1953? Richard Nixon, John F. Kennedy or Dwight Eisenhower? Dwight Eisenhower. How many countries participated in the first Eurovision contest held in 1956? 13, 7 or 10? Seven, just 7. In which country did General Gustavo Rojas Pinella stage a coup d'etat in 1953? Colombia, Panama or Ecuador? Colombia. In 1950, Frank McNamara was credited as the inventor of which credit card? MasterCard, Diners Card or Visa? Diners Card Club. How you doing? 25 questions gone. Haakon VII of House Gluckenberg was a monarch of which European nation during the 1950s? Norway. What organ was successfully transplanted in Boston by Joseph Murray's team in 1954? Liver, kidney or stomach? Kidney. Which nation's 1950s football squad was nicknamed the Golden Team? Argentina, Italy or Hungary? It was Hungary. True or false, in 1958, a large concrete wall was built in Berlin to separate NATO and USSR-controlled territories? It's false. The Berlin Wall was actually built in 1961. Released in 1957, The Bridge on the River Kwai is a movie whose plot is set during the Second World War, the Korean War, or the First Indochino War? The Second World War. Manuel Francisco dos Santos, a Brazilian football legend of the 50s and 60s, is better known as Zico, Garrincha or Pelé? Garrincha. Tonto was a character from the famous 1950s TV show. Which show was it? The Lone Ranger, Gunsmoke or Perry Mason? The Lone Ranger. Which Hollywood legend starred in the 1957 blockbuster 12 Angry Men? James Stewart, Gary Cooper or Henry Fonda? Henry Fonda. What is the name of the only NBA team to win 3-peats in the 1950s? Minneapolis Lakers, Boston Celtics, or Philadelphia Warriors? Minneapolis Lakers. Which European country lost control over Cambodia in the early 1950s? Spain, the United Kingdom, or France? It was France. In which year did France, US and UK end the occupation of West Germany? 1958, 1955 or 1952? 1955. Which painter finished his trademark masterpiece Orange and Yellow in 1956? Mark Rothko, Franz Kline or Roy Lichtenstein? Mark Rothko. Who starred in the movie The King and I and won an Oscar in 1957? Humphrey Bogart, Yul Brynner or Charlton Heston? Yul Brynner. Which computer language created by IBM made its debut in 1957? Fortran, BASIC or Pascal? Fortran. Which Russian writer was forced to refuse his Nobel Prize by USSR authorities in 1958? Maxim Gorsky, Vladimir Moloskovy or Boris Pasternak? Boris Pasternak. In 1952, Joe DiMaggio retired from baseball. On which team did he spend all of his career? Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees or Los Angeles Dodgers? New York Yankees. In the 1952 Olympic Games was organised in which city? The old continent? Amsterdam, Helsinki or Stockholm? Helsinki. What was the name of Grace Kelly's husband, the Prince of Monaco? Prince Sebastian, Prince Louis or Prince Rainier? Prince Rainier. What African country had to endure the Mau Mau rebellion that started in 1952? Kenya, Senegal or Tanzania? Kenya. Queen Elizabeth II officially took the throne and became the head of state in 1950, 1954 or 1953? 1953. In 1955, the first rock and roll band to appear on Ed Sullivan's show was Bill Haley and the Comets, the Everly Brothers or Fats Domino? Bill Haley and the Comets. What was invented by Marc Gregoire in 1954 and we still use it quite often? The electric mixer, the non-stick Teflon pan or the vacuum flask? The non-stick Teflon pan. In what year was the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, formed? 58, 53 or 56? 1958. Following the death of Pope Pius, the Pope who assumed the office in 1958 was Jean-Paul, Leo or John? It was John. The NBA legend Wilt Chamberlain spent 2 years at which college? UCLA, University of Kansas or Ohio State? University of Kansas. So, how did you do on the 1950s? Drop your score in the comments below. And of course, like and subscribe so you get notified every time we post a new quiz. And join us next time on Quiz Time.